game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity, that place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Bucs fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lee Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Buccaneers. Tampa Tones here, alongside some fellow Buccaneers members, special guest in the house as well. We got a lot to discuss. We got a Bucs just getting released, hot off the press, so a battle seemingly all but over. We got a quarterback competition. Is it over? Is it just getting started? What the hell's going on there? And then we got some more things to break down and discuss, and so much more of what we've seen so far or what we might be expecting come week 3 of the preseason. We are live right here on the Buccaneers. We got our great co-host Stunna, and Bucko the Bruce makes his beloved return into the house, so that's incredible. We got special guest Jeremy as well. But Bucko, I think it's been like 83 months since you've last been on the show, so I want to bring you in, buddy. How the hell you doing, and how are you handling all those kids? I know you're the Phillip Rivers of the Buccaneers, so hats off to you, brother. Hope
yeah, man. I gotta try to catch up to Killer over there, man. But this this baseball and softball season in this 97-degree heat is enough to make you go crazy, let alone sit down and talk football. But I got to jump in with my man Killer. Jeremy, good to talk with you, Tones. It's been a while. Every now and then I got to come here and bring some flavor back to the show. You know? So I'm here, man.
Bucko brings that OG Buccaneers origin. He helped turn the pod around. We've always been a fun time, but he really wrote the ship, and then we formed the core Buccaneers. So always a good time having Bucko on. Actually, I've been on Twitter way too long now, or X, whatever the hell you call it. But Bucko is one of my first Bucs Twitter followers. So good stuff. Always a pleasure having the big man on to talk some Bucs ball. We'll bring in another Buccaneer. Huncho, how the hell you doing? Thoughts about Saturday's 13-6 game? We'll get into here shortly. But how are you other than that, brother?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Blessed and highly favored, my guy, you know. And Bucko, you know why he followed you. The old man, he didn't really know what he was doing when it first happened, so he was just following people.
No, I just had to take the little young man under my wings. He was saying some crazy stuff, about Josh Freeman. I had to reel him in a little bit, Yeah,
there were some crazies out there. I could have fell into worse hands on Bucko. There was Yankee Eric. There was remember.
I ended up playing in a fantasy league with that friggin' wacko.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Boy.
Shiano Soldier, he called himself. There was that pedophile stick carrier dude who's in jail now or something like that.
Yeah.
Sex offender.
Yeah, sex offender. That's what it is. Sorry if I misspoke there. But Tyler Sharp joining us on Facebook. We'll get off the bandwagon of Bucs fans there. Nonetheless, Jeremy, how the hell are you, my man? Dedication for you to be a special guest tonight. You're on a work break. You look fantastic, brother. We appreciate you joining.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the invite, man. I love talking about football with y'all guys. Y'all guys are pretty much my new Buccaneer family. Welcome me in the show every time I'm on. Appreciate it, man.
Man. We're gonna welcome you in when I visit Tampa, or you're gonna welcome me to Tampa, but we're gonna welcome you in the squad when I roll down in September as well. So, fellas, we have a lot of Bucs ball to talk about. Not a ton of time here. Obviously, Saturday's game was interesting to say the least. 13-6. Trask played a lot of the game. Wolford played a little of the game. Wolford got banged up, and Trask had to come back in. So we're going to start with the burning question, get everyone's thoughts and whatnot on the quarterback battle that is at hand here, because it's been interesting. It seems like it's Baker's job to lose still at this point. I mean, seemingly Bulls might be stretching it out for a certain number of things, as I do have my Shake and Bake shirt on with his 813 headband. Got this as a birthday gift. I've been pulling for Trask in this quarterback battle, but I've been a long advocate in saying let Baker start and then let Trask come in after Baker, because that mess is a lot cleaner than if you let Trask start and Baker has to come in after Trask, in my opinion, for a multitude of reasons. But Bucko, we'll start with you here since it's been a while, brother. A, thoughts on the QB battle, and was it ever a real battle? And B, how comfortable do you feel about either one of those guys taking the ship in the quarterback room eventually?
Well, I mean, most of y'all on Twitter and you gentlemen here know my takes. I'm not overly large on either one of the guys. Trask was extremely efficient Saturday. He showed me growth, showed me some abilities. He also glaringly, made me even more worried about his NFL arm strength. And, just I'm looking at, looking at Baker and the way he's able to do that play action, that boot, and the rollout and throw on the run. I think Baker's more of a natural fit for what Canales wants to do. I'm not saying Baker's a better quarterback than Trask. I really think that they're similar. But I think Baker throws a better deep ball, and I think he's better throwing on the run and better on these rollouts. So for this offense, for this team, for this year, I think Baker is the better fit. But Trask is doing enough to where you have to say it's a legit competition, and I don't think it's over yet.
Yeah, I agree with you there, actually. I do think since Bulls hasn't quite declared it yet, that there is a little bit of thought behind the competition. At the same time, I heard a interesting idea today that maybe Bulls is just prolonging it, so it looks like he put a little thought into it, and his job is on the line after all, seemingly, so he might want to look like he's thinking things out. Huncho, do you agree with Bucko that it's a little bit more of a quarterback competition than some might think at this time, or do you solely put the stamp on Baker?
I mean, I at first I was bought into believing it was a competition, but now as I see the decisions being made, I kind of feel like it was Baker's job to kind of lose, because you don't bring a guy in 1 year, what I'm saying, sign him to a deal without, honestly just giving him some type of confirmation. Like, yeah, he is a QB competition to see who's going to win the game, but it makes more sense to start out with Baker and then fall into Trask. You get what I'm saying? Instead of just Trask and then Baker, because at least if Baker doesn't perform, you have Trask. He's and on a cheaper deal. You got him, to fall back, and he's used to playing that backup role and coming in. So if you tell him, hey, just sit out and wait, and he'll be, I think, more comfortable. But he has looked good. He has looked competitive. He looks like he's improved from the previous preseason games that I see him playing for the time he did play. The decision making, he made some plays. I mean, the offensive line, I'm really, that's what I'm concerned about, the offensive line and the protection that he's gotten, But he did look.
Everett looked concerning, especially Hunch.
Yes, Leverett looked very bad. I don't know. Bowles and his way of thinking is quite different. I've been trying to figure it out for the last 2 years, but I don't know how he does it. But me particularly, I would have put my starting guys out there for at least a couple of series to get them a little familiar with each other and see how each quarterback plays behind the starting line with the starting wide receivers and stuff like that, because you're playing with third and fourth guys that's probably not going to even make the team. Some of these guys and some of these linemen is not cutting it. Then you jeopardize getting a quarterback hurt. What if the guy that got hurt was Kyle Trask instead of Wolford or if it was Baker Mayfield, because you're playing behind a shitty line. Todd just kind of bothers me with his coaching sometimes. I don't get it, but we'll see what happens.
Now, yes, let me ask Jeremy this, twist it up a little bit. Instead of the quarterback competition necessarily, and we'll get your thoughts on that as well, Jeremy, but Huncho brings up a good point. Starters play and a lot of backup O-line play, and Last year, I was at the last preseason game, week 3 preseason in Indianapolis, and that's when we did see the Buccaneers starters. That's when Brady played a little bit. That's when we seen a few more cats out on the field. That was week 3. Let's remember as well, last year or the year before was the first year they did convert from the 4-game preseason to the 3-game preseason. Outside of the participants in the Hall of Fame game, they still get the 4. So 2 teams get 4. The rest of the 30 get 3. I think we might see it as last year. I think week 3 this week we might see the blueprint, the test run, and I think Rashad White might have leaked that as well on Twitter a little bit, as he said, "Don't worry, guys, you'll see me out there this coming week." So it seems like all these NFL coaches, all these teams are trying to find out their new formula to the new preseason format. And it seems like, at least for the Arians Bowls light regime, it seems like preseason game week 3 is the audition, or not the audition, but the walkthrough, I should say, for the first week with the team we put out there. I'd guess we see at least 18 to 20 starters out there, Jeremy.
I agree with Honcho on the putting the starters in. I think they should have played in the Jets game, honestly. Kind of get the feet wet. And I feel like both Baker and Trask were robbed on playing with the starters, Because obviously when Tristan gets in there, I think he'll protect a lot better than what they had to deal with. And thank God Trask wasn't the one that got injured. It was Wolford. I, I just feel like, Trask, I think he's just as good as Baker, truthfully. I think Baker is the most experienced one. I think he'll be the one to start the season. And the major question to me is, can he stay healthy? Can he stay 100% healthy and maintain possession of the ball and not turn the ball over? That's the real question. The thing about Trask, he'll wait. He'll wait when his time comes in. He'll come in and we'll see what he really is with the starters. But he did pretty well playing with the backups. But at the end of the day, I think Baker's going to start the season out, and I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable with it. I just want to get our starting quarterback with the starters so they get ready for Minnesota, because that's not going to be an easy game. That's going to be, to me, a battle royale, because I think our defense can hold it down. But anyway, I definitely feel fine with Baker. Eventually, Trask is going to get his opportunity. I don't see Baker playing the whole season healthy.
Yeah, and Jeremy, I think a lot of what you said is true. I think we're going to see both eventually at some point, regardless. We have a mini bit of news here on behalf of the Buccaneers. It seems like they have made another signing out there. It seems like they have nabbed another piece out there for the defense. And to me, this doesn't bode well for some of those fringe roster guys. And a guy like Hayes, who we drafted the D-back later on, could be more and more in trouble. The Bucs did agree to terms just 34 minutes ago, according to Greg Allman, with Richard LeCounte, a safety who was a Cleveland Brown. He was drafted in the 5th round of the 2021 NFL draft with the Browns, and then he was most recently with the Los Angeles Rams. But it does seem like the past couple of days we signed Greedy Williams' brother. Now we signed Richard LeCounte III. It seems like the Bucs are trying to at least give competition, or even though these are young guys, a little bit more experienced guys, some chances back there instead of just free agents. Richard LeCounte has played in 10 games in his career, so nothing.
He's from Georgia, right, Tom? He's from Georgia?
Yes, sir. He is
Okay.
from Georgia. You are correct on that. So
I remember him with the Bulldogs. He was quite good with them.
Yeah, Bucko, any analysis or any thoughts on that signing? It's a mini move, I know, but better than nothing for depth.
No, I just remember him at Georgia, and he came back from a serious injury and balled as a senior. I remember him as a good player. I kind of wondered what happened to him until we signed him. But in college, he was a damn good player. He hasn't done anything as a pro. Just like the Williams brothers, Greedy and the one we just signed, both of those guys in college showed out. Maybe they haven't found the right fit, especially with Greedy and the other Williams brother. They're long arm corners with ball skills. Maybe they just weren't in the right system for them, and under Bowles, they can thrive. So cornerback depth is never something you can't have too much of. especially you've seen what happened with us when Dean and Davis went down and Delaney is guarding team's number one wide receiver. It's not a good look for your defense. You don't give enough time for the pass rush to get home when the number one receiver is open in 2.5 seconds. So, yes, I'm all for DB depth, sir. Give me all of it.
I agree with you 100% there. DB depth to me is always a great thing, and it never hurts. You said last year, Bucko, yeah, we went through our spurts. Jamel Dean went down a little bit. SMB went down a little bit. As a Godfather, James Rubright's in the house tonight on Facebook alongside Tyler Sharp. So we got a nice little Facebook crew. We appreciate all you guys joining us here on the Buccaneers. But I think that's a great point, Bucko, and I really do like the fact that he's a former Georgia defender, and he also, he also worked with Raheem Morris as recently as last year as well, who's been able to reclaim a couple nice pieces on the defensive side of the ball over the past couple of years. So whether he's just a depth piece or a competition piece, refreshing to see. Huncho, I'm going to frame it like this. How do you think the rookie from K-State, Hayes, Geno Hayes' cousin, fares in making the roster? Joshua Hayes, you think he's going to make it? Yeah, I heard he might be a borderline roster guy with hopes of making it back on the practice squad, but we keep signing D-backs and safeties. To me, that means these guys might be looking for upgrades, and a guy like Joshua Hayes might be in trouble.
That's just correct you a little bit there. That's his nephew. That's Geno Hayes. That's his nephew.
Yes, I'm sorry if I misspoke. That's his nephew.
And rest in peace, Geno. Good guy, but yeah, I think from what I've seen, he's been all right. He's been a rookie. He wasn't a high draft pick, so you're gonna expect the normal bumps and bruises and adjusting, and that's one of Jason Light's things. If you notice in our organization, they're always going to be looking for guys to punch in and fill fill these holes. And we do have injury problems throughout the years. You notice Carlton Davis, all those guys subdue injury. So I think it's more so building and also adding to what we have to see if we can get a little more play. But I don't think at this moment, I don't think Hayes is out the door, not quite yet, because, he probably has a little family, his family being that he is his nephew, he might have a little longer leash with the team, and Bowles he's respectful of that. I know that. And but I'm not concerned really of his play. He's just gonna have to go through it. But the signing, I don't know how good the guy is, honestly. I don't know anything about him, but hopefully these young guys can flourish, because as we know, Bowles, he is a good defensive coordinator, and I've seen over the years these guys develop into some very nice key pieces from Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, even Jordan Whitehead, even Mike, the guy that left and went to the Chiefs. Mike Edwards, even the deaf guys, some deaf guys, I can't even. Dave played key parts in this defense. So whatever I think Todd Bowles has, he's going to use them at their best role or whatever they do best, and hopefully he can plug and play. But I'm just praying that everybody can just stay healthy at this point, because behind our two starters, we're very, very thin, and we don't know what we're going to do. Honestly, with the slot position, with the nickel position, is very, very up in the air. I mean, Isaac, what's his name? Isaac, I think I heard. Isn't.
Yeah, Christian Isian.
I think he was supposed to be him and Geno Hayes was battling it out for the nickel position, but I don't know how's that going, because that's a key play part of this defense. So we're gonna see. I think we need some a veteran to come in and
there you go, Killer.
You know what I'm saying? Sure it up though, for sure. We definitely need veterans, and let the young guys kind of groom their way in and show these young guys how to manage and how to handle themselves.
Right. And I'm gonna echo that with saying tones. DB depth is good, but all these guys you're talking about right now, Williams, Hayes, Eisen, if these guys are on the field, we got a damn problem. So I'd like to see them on the roster and developed on the practice squad. But if we see them in the damn game, that's going to be nerve wracking. I don't want to see that. I don't even want to see Zion. I think Zion still can progress and get better.
Right.
I don't want to see his ass right now at all. None.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
My
I
major
agree
thing-
with you guys completely. I kind of call it the core four. You got Dean, Davis, Winfield, and Ryan Neal. And then outside of those fellas, you have a lot of younger cats vying for roster spots. You know, you got the Don Gardners, Anthony Chesley's, Kedrick Whiteheads, all
Yeah.
those guys battling it out for the depth spot. So I think it's nice to sign guys like Richard the Count the Third and the likes of that, because you really do, and Rodarius Williams, Grady Williams' brother, you really do shore up veteran depth. And those are the guys we need, right? Like Pierre Desir, when we signed him and he played on this team, he actually played a bigger role than people imagined. And then we signed that Cowboys defensive back as well. He was banged up a little bit, drawing a blank on his name exactly, but he came in the previous year, so really helped out as well. So Jeremy, what are your thoughts on the DBs? Do you agree with us? And if you could, my man, could you try and talk into the mic a little more, perhaps? Someone did say you were low. So,
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on the DB situation?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I agree with the fellas in here. I feel like honestly that if one of our star corners goes down, it's going to be a rough season, man. Zion's just not ready. He's not ready. I'm not trying to pick on him. I think he's played solid, but not to where I feel comfortable with him coming in when they have to pull Dean or CD out, on a rest play. I wish we would have brought in a veteran on a minimum, but I know Light's working on a very strong cap space, so
Right.
you know all we can do is go young right now and hope and pray for the best for our starters if they don't get injured. And I'm more fearful of the safety depth. I mean, if we lose Winfield or Neal, God forbid, that's going to be woof. Those deep
Yeah.
balls, man. I'm
Safety.
telling you.
The guy's still out there. Ryan. Logan Ryan's still out there too. So I don't know if anything happens, they might try to bring him in or give him a look.
I don't know either. I think he's just kind of like weighing his options. I think he's just waiting for
Yeah,
the right opportunity to go in
I
there.
don't think that worked out well for us. I'd rather let one of the young guys play because he wasn't very good
Who
when he was in
Logan?
there.
You didn't like Logan Ryan?
No, I mean he didn't add the veteran, keeping everybody in the right spot. He was beaten deep in coverage. He was in the wrong position, missing tackles. That I don't need that from a 10, 11-year veteran.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He seemed like he lost a step,
He was
in my
also
opinion.
battling injury, Bucko.
Yeah,
He was
that too. I mean,
injured early.
Yeah, now when you look into it too, we're gonna browse here, fellas. The real quick, we're gonna look into any remaining free agent DBs. But let's remember one thing too, guys. In the coming weeks, we're gonna have a lot of stuff happening, right? We're gonna have roster moves happening. We're gonna have guys on the way in, guys on the way out, and this isn't only gonna be in Tampa. This is gonna be all around the NFL. So
Right.
we're gonna have a chance to bring in some more veterans, and there's already veterans that are out there, perhaps just already sitting there.
there's a name, Tones, I want you to look out for that just got released about 1 hour ago. And Andy Isabella can be brought in very cheap to play the slot for us. And I like him. I like his skill set, his speed, his
Cardinals
wiggles.
never used him, right? And then what was he
No,
just in Buffalo?
the Bills, the Bills dropped. The Bills just cut him, but he's looked damn good in the 2 preseason games for the Bills. And I had a high grade on him. I think he went to UMass, I believe. I like his footwork. I like the way he catches the ball with his hands. And I know with Gage going down, we need a guy on that interior with some speed and really cheap. I was just saying, throw that name out there.
I like that idea. I love it.
No, I agree. I like that
He's
too.
pretty
I
good.
didn't
And
know that.
Trey Palmer, he's been looking good, but I think the slot position, he's more of an outside burner type of guy like Scotty. I don't know if he has the quickness and awareness the start in the slot. So I'm down with Isabella. He's shown, I've seen him, and I was high on him at a point in time for him to come in. But yeah, I agree with you 100%.
I like Andy Isabella a lot too. I think that would be a move that's interesting. And obviously, the Bucs kind of like defensive back, a wide receiver. To me, they're going to look to add some veteran depth, especially without Russell Gage. They do have Dave Moore, which was an under the radar nice signing. He had a couple okay depth years in Seattle with a Dave Canellis like. So that is for certain. Cleveland Me is joining us. Joe from Cleveland Me says Bucs 10-7. Aints 4-13, fellas. How about that?
Wow.
Hey, please pass it this way, sir. I could use a stress relief. Good Lord.
Hey, I was on my weekly radio show the other week, and the host Mac McGee out of Noonan, Georgia. We are on Monday through Friday. Check us out in Noonan, Georgia. That is 4 to 6 o'clock Eastern time. There 2 to 4 Central time and 3 to 5 Eastern time with Braves Country HD. Mac McGee, the host of the show, predicted the Saints 4-13 as well. Said he senses injury troubles and perhaps a coaching failure again on the behalf of Dennis Allen. So maybe the Saints aren't out ahead as far as we think, fellas. Maybe we're hopeful here.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The Saints, they even if when they're playing their worst, they still somehow end up playing good against us. But
They end up with 7-8 wins, even when they're terrible. So
right,
4-13. I don't see that. They got too much veteran leadership, I think.
That was with Sean Payton, though, right? It's a different era there in New Orleans, I will say, with Dennis Allen. And let's see it like this: Derek Carr had a hell of a lot of world-class weapons last year. Had the best running back in the NFL. He had the best wide receiver in the NFL.
And a top 5 tight end.
A top 5 tight end. And Hunter Renfrow, who's not a bad 2 or 3 receiver.
And he lost his job.
So I agree. I do think the Saints should be the biggest threat to the Bucs. But at the same time, I think between Derek Carr not being as good as he once was, Alvin Kamara has a mini suspension. We know Michael Thomas will get hurt. Jimmy Graham, he's going to be out of the picture with his recent stuff and with how old he is. I feel like the Saints offense might be in a little more trouble than people think.
I agree. I'm not fearful of the Saints. I mean, 4-13 is a little off, in my opinion. I say 8-9. Best case scenario, because they do get some talent on defense. I can't deny that. Even though they lost some D linemen, but they're still pretty tough on defense. I can't stand Lattimore's assets.
Yeah, I don't see them for it. Like these guys, look, come on, like we're pretty much in the same type of boat as the Saints if we're being realistic right now. Yeah, we have a core guys that's been together, but the new quarterback, Derek Carr, I mean, he's an up and down quarterback. We never know what he's gonna look like over there. And as long as they have Alvin Kamara, I know he's suspended a few games, but as long as he have him, he's a weapon. And Taysom Hill, I feel like we haven't yet to prove that we can actually stop him when he's on the field consistently. And if he don't,
he's 33 now, man. I think he's got the. He ain't really the threat. He was a nothing burger last year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
The dual threat, like, come on, we gotta. If these guys don't play sound, one missed tackle and he can eat us up for chunk yards. You get what I'm saying? So
no, I get you, and that's where adding Cansey, Logan Hall getting bigger, Tryon putting on some weight,
Greg Gaines,
adding keeping Pat O'Connor,
right,
Will Ghosting coming back on the cheap.
Right.
Our D line depth is built for stopping the run.
Yes.
The only problem is with the injuries and everything that went. Our pass rush was almost non-existent for the majority of the year last year, and our offense kept leading the damn league in fucking 3 and outs. Right. So we're on the field for 80 snaps a game. Right. I mean, we were still the 12th defense in the league, but it didn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Right.
This year with that D line depth, with Devin White playing for his $100 million from Philly or whoever else is going to give it to him next year, he's going to be ready. Winfield got to earn his contract. Jamel Dean just got paid. He got to prove that contract. I'm just saying, defensively, we should not have any excuses. And our offense, the way it's designed, is a game control, clock managing, chew up some clock offense. That's so much a breath of fresh air. Even without having Tom Brady, even when we're sitting here debating over Baker and Trask, I think we're going to be more efficient offensively, which improves the defense. So I'm loving this shit. I'm actually excited, bro. And then now go read the articles. We're going to win 3 games, 4 games. Get the fuck out of here. That's why I had to come on today. I just had to
we've actually, people look at the loss of Tom Brady and they start to judge us off that, but you got to understand we upgraded because also the loss of Byron Leftwich, the loss of Byron
and
Leftwich,
Donovan Smith.
That was very big because now we have a coordinator that's up to speed, that's with the times, that can get us past those 3 third and 10s, the first down runs, just the incompetence of Byron Leftwich that he was stubborn on. I feel like Dave Canales, he's using the players at the best of their ability, and he's putting them in the right position so they can win. And I can't wait to see the start. I want to see the starters. And preseason is pretty vanilla, so we're not going to get too much good of a play calling. Like, it's pretty simple. So when the regular season gets here and they open up the playbook, we'll see what this offense really is about. But it's looking very good so far, and I like the fact that we've added pieces to get more faster up front on the line. It's just the key is staying healthy, and I think we need to strive to get back to being the number 1 rush defense to stop the run, because we was that. And when we were stopping the run and forcing teams to become one-dimensional with throwing, that helped us a lot. And I think we need to focus and get back to that first so we can
absolutely
striving,
No, agreed. Agreed.
I know we were talking about earlier as well some other potential veteran D-backs we might like. One guy I have an eye on quick before we talk about who the Bucs just released, so we do have a competition over, but former Cowboys defensive back Anthony Brown. He's played in the NFL for 7 seasons, all with the Cowboys. He started in 69 career games out of 94 games played, 19 career interceptions. He's still a free agent out there, and he's still 29 years old. And guess what, guys? He was born in Tampa, Florida as well. So maybe bring in the hometown guy. He's been a 7-year vet from the Cowboys, started 69 games. That's a lot of games started. So
he got cooked in 68 of those 69 games, though. I'm good on Anthony Brown.
Maybe for veteran depth, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I mean, we're bringing in guys that are getting cut by multiple teams now. So I wouldn't mind kicking the tires on a guy. He'd be like a Pierre Desir type signing, in my opinion. Yeah, is it a big name that you want at this point in their career? Probably not. But for a room like ours, that's a lot of veteran experience with a lot of young heirs.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you, but I watched him, I've seen what we did to him when he was with the Cowboys, and that dude got cooked.
It's slim pickings out there. It's slim pickings out there. I mean, I think the top 2 are retired and suspended because Isaiah Rodgers suspended on the Colts, and then you have Byron Jones retired, I believe, and then you have Casey Hayward retired as well. So it gets slim. Speaking of slim, the Bucs kicking room just got a little slim. Rodrigo Blankenship has kicked his way out of town. I've said it from the start on the show, fellas. Merely a camp body, merely a preseason body for a couple reasons. We had Ryan Suckup, and the Bucs wanted to get better from long distance, right?
And Rodrigo can't do that.
Exactly. Rodrigo is 2 of 5 in his career from field goals over 50 yards, while Chase McLaughlin was 17 out of 21. Bucko, let's start with you. This was the obvious move. I personally don't think Rodrigo is ever in this competition. I don't even think this was ever a competition. And I'm actually really looking forward to seeing what Chase McLaughlin could do in Tampa after having a nice season last year with the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it would be a breath of fresh air to be able to not have to turn away from the TV on a 45-yard field goal. You know what I mean? I would like somebody with some leg. I mean, I know he missed, 7 or 8 extra points last year. Let's hope he's figured that out, because as you know, the way Ray J's position, man, it can be tough to kick at Ray J. It's almost as bad as MetLife or them other places with the way the wind swirls. So let's hope we're not missing extra points, sacrificing that to get long field goals. But at the same time, Chase looked good at Indy, especially from deep. And I think that we're going to have to kick a lot of 45, 48-yard field goals. So, yeah, let's roll. Let's get it.
Yeah, Chase McLaughlin, a lot better from deeper kicks than close range, but that's why I love the move of bringing him in. I mean, career-wise, 17 field goals over 50 yards, as you said, Bucko. You'd have to turn your head and hold your breath when we were watching Ryan Suckup kick anything over 42, 43 yards. Now we're going to get a guy who gives you an 80% chance, 85% chance to make it from that 50-plus
Yeah.
yard.
Hey, did y'all remember the good old days when they sent Grammatic in for a field goal? You can get up, go to the bathroom, knowing it was fucking good. You know, you get up, go get a beer. Oh, I miss those days.
Yeah,
And
automatic. Now
Cleve and me
it's so
is
scary.
Cleve and me, the Colts fan says Chase and Indy was consistent. It was nice to have guy to have kick for you. Rodrigo has a small Johnson. Both of those guys kick for the Colts. So
Pause, Cleve. Pause. Come on.
it's very interesting to see a Colts fan speaking highly of Chase. Huncho, are you excited to see what our special teams room led by Chase McLaughlin does in the kicking department?
As far as the special teams, I feel like we lost when we kept Keith Armstrong.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we should have damn sure kicked. He should have left with Byron. Far as
Agree.
I'm
Agree,
excited
brother.
for real. I'm excited about the to see if Trey Palmer we're gonna have the what's his name? Tompkins returning the ball. Like, yeah, I feel comfortable about that. But just getting down there, man, I don't know. It's just he doesn't. It's like the team, they always get to at least the 30 to 35 yard, and he just can't stop it. And Rodrigo, I knew he was out of here after he missed that first and second kick. When he missed those kicks, I knew he was out of there. He was out of there because he was on a tightrope already, you know, and he didn't.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Armstrong has pictures of somebody naked.
He's worse than Byron. Byron wasn't our bold take. Byron wasn't our worst coordinator last year.
Bro, like when I was watching like Under the Current and stuff like that, like last year, and what they showing him coaching, he just standing there with this. What the hell am I doing here? Look on his face. I'm like, this dude is really terrible.
Really terrible. And then when they had Carlton Davis out there on special teams and he's getting hurt, like, bro.
And he's getting hurt. Like, what is he doing? Why is he a gunner? Get the man. Don't even get me started.
That's bad coaching, and and that comes from Ty because his excuse was he's always played special teams. Well, you need to find somebody to fill that role because he's your starting cornerback. You don't want him out there being a gunner. It doesn't make sense because you're losing double the amount if he gets hurt. You're losing special teams and you're losing your top cornerback. Like, I don't get it, man, and it's just dumb shit. Like he doesn't have it. He needs to be out of here.
Yeah, look. I will say this. I'm sorry to cut you off, Tom.
No, go.
I'm gonna say this about Bowles. Bowles, yes, he did an admirable job in New York because he took them bums to the playoffs one year. I think that's admirable on its own. But this is the first time. This is his team. Y'all ain't seen Bruce in the building at one Buck. You ain't seen him on the field. You ain't seen him at the fucking charity events. Bruce Arians is gone. This is Todd Bowles' thing. He brought in his guy that has a physical run first philosophy, has a mindset like him. You know, yeah, he kept Armstrong, but that's his guy. He's been coaching with him forever. Okay, so we can get beyond that. But let's really judge Bowles. And, you know, I'm not a Bowles guy. I don't think any Bucs fan really is. But let's judge him on this. I want to see what he does with an offense that's efficient. Maybe it'll help his defense get more aggressive and get better. And he don't have to be the big brother over the shoulder. Like, you know, on the offense, he can just let that go.
He just needs exactly what he needs to do. He needs to take his nose out of the offense because I think he's the one with the running on the first down, and I think that's his decisions. Like he's implementing that because there's no way I can't take another year of that shit there. No. And Todd Bowles, yes, I feel like he's a great defensive coordinator, but when it comes to head coaching and his decision making in game, like punting on fourth, like some play, he does some shit that I just can't wrap my brain around sometimes, and I don't get it. And
he's too conservative.
Yeah, he's very conservative. He plays scared, and that's gonna get you. It's gonna bite you in your ass one day. A lot of the times it did last year. So I don't know. You gotta sometimes leave a friendship shit alone, and if your job is on the line, you gotta make those decisions so you can be in the best position to win, bro. And Keith Armstrong is not that guy. You're gonna fuck around and lose your job over a friendship because he's not. There's no way that every team we play, their kick returners making it to the 30, 35 yarder. Like, nah, bro, it's not working.
I was a big advocate on Twitter last season. Sadly, I don't root for firings often, but I was like, we got to get rid of Keith Armstrong this offseason. Sadly, we didn't. A lot of us were hopeful we did. I tweeted on October 23rd, 2022. So pretty much a year now, Keith Armstrong should have been fired many, many months ago, or special teams is straight cheeks. And then I said in January, sucks to see all these coaches go. My question is, how does Keith Armstrong survive the coaching purge? So, Huncho, I'm in totally agreement with you. I was over him a while back. And additionally, fellas, we're going to go ahead and go around now. Start with me, go to Jeremy, then Bucko, and Huncho. We're going to give our gold stars from Saturday. And don't pick someone obvious. Don't just be like,
no, I got mine ready.
I got
Cam fucking Gill.
right.
Cam Gill has looked phenomenal in
or
both
they've cut the
games.
line, but go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I
Go
cut
crazy.
somebody?
No, go crazy, bro. Keep going with
Nah.
Cam Gill.
I ain't want Ben stealing my shit. He likes to steal my style.
And I was
So I had to get in there
add
first.
Russell with it. You need to add Russell.
Yeah. No, Cam Gill has been playing phenomenal. We're talking tackles for loss. We're talking quarterback pressures. Even PBUs. Cam Gill's all over the place, bro. He's really, really trying to get himself into this rotation, and I think he deserves it.
Bucko, I would say I would attest to this as well. It's been a pretty great edge battle for depth, I must say, at the edge position.
I ain't gonna lie, I got like two guys. I like Watts. Watts been balling. Watts been doing this thing. He seems like he's a steal wherever he came from. Marquise Watts or whatever. Him and also Raheem Jarrett, the wide receiver, he's looking good. We all know Trey Palmer, yeah. But Raheem Jarrett, he's making some
3 catches for 84 yards.
He's looking good. He's looking fucking good, bro. We got some depth at wide receiver. If we need depth anywhere, wide receiver not right. And that looks good. That looks very good. He make these guys. He's making Trey Palmer's making the 10 look good again, taking it from Scotty and Raheem Jarrett is looking at 8, making the 18 looking good. Also.
Remember good old Sammy Strouder used to wear the number 18 at
What's
one
the
point.
last guy we had? That your boy that went to the Texans.
Tyler Johnson.
Yeah.
Tyler Johnson. He's on the Rams now, and he's a bum.
He'll be serving. We'll see. I was gonna say he might be a free agent soon, serving up free agency, but we'll see if that comes true. Maybe not. He might stick around on their practice squad. You never know. But
he made one big play for us
against the Saints in the playoffs.
That was a great play, but after that, he just fizzled out, bro.
I agree with you. Jeremy, so far we've gotten Raheem Jarrett. So far we've gotten Cam Gill. So far we've gotten my man Marquise Watts, who I've been loving on Twitter. So is Huncho. He's been phenomenal. Jeremy, who would you give your 1 or 2 gold stars to from Saturday?
I would have to say Cade Otton, man. He looked really sharp on that first drive, getting a couple first down catches.
There you go.
Getting open.
And
then Sean Tucker, getting that big first down on that 4th and 1 run. I mean, that dude's going to be a stud. I think honestly he'll be our running back 2 in the middle of the season eventually. Not to knock on Edmonds, I think he's a great addition, but Sean Tucker's the real deal. And then Jarrett, dude, a stud, man. I mean, this guy can be probably the biggest steal in undrafted free agent history because he was making some catches that number 1 receivers make catches. So I agree with Honcho. We're fully depth at receivers. I ain't worried about that. Dave Borg can kick rocks, bro. You don't drop a damn catch and miss out on a first down. You don't do that.
And guys, I agree with you all. You have left me with a few choices, but that's okay. I didn't expect to have much choices left when it got to this point in time. But I'm going to go with the guy who we had around last year in preseason, and he played a couple regular season games because I don't want to double up on anybody, so I'm going to keep it a little different. I'm going to go with J.J. Russell, the middle linebacker. I think he's looked nice, number 51. Last week he had a turnover against Pittsburgh. He had an interception. This week He's been all over the place. He had some pass breakups. He was one of our leaders in tackles this past game with 4 of them. He just looks like a guy fighting for a depth role for middle linebacker. Obviously, you have the big ones with Devin White, Levante, and the rookie Dennis going to make it. But after that, it's going to be a fight between Gilbert, Russell, and KJ Britt, perhaps. So I think JJ Russell's doing a good job, I should say, of sacrificing himself from the rest of the middle linebacker comp. I'd really enjoy seeing
Another guy stepped up. Tony. I don't mean to cut you off. Another guy that stepped up also. D. Delaney. He ended up
interception D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stepped up.
Yeah,
He's come a long way.
Luke Gadecki has stepped up. I didn't want to go right there, but here's my question, guys. I actually, I'm getting the evil eye from the wife. I have got to assist with bath duties, so I might have to roll out here soon. But what is the deal with Ryan Jensen? Why is there no information to be had on his knee? Well, what's going on, man? Somebody tell me.
Yeah, and the
It's-
weirdest thing with Jensen is too last year. Well, last year we didn't really get any update ever too, right? Remember that? They kept holding off to put him on PUP, holding off to put him on PUP. And then when they finally said he'd be out for a while, they never quite revealed the extent to his injury nor his injury. Now this year we kind of got the same patty cake. It was like, all right, we've seen him in volunteer camp. He was out there a little bit, but then you know what sticks out in my mind? Bucko, that play when he threw his helmet down. He came to the sideline roaring, yelling, threw his helmet down, looked like he was in some pain. I think he's still featuring some pain when he tries to put too much pressure on it personally. I think he's going to play this year. At what point do we see him? I'm not sure. And I don't mean to speculate, but I do think this might be the last year we see Ryan Jensen not only in a Bucs uniform, but he might be done after this season, and that would be really sad. But I do think he knows he's coming over a gruesome injury and has to fight through the pain if he wants to play. So I do think we see him at some point this year, but at this point, I can't really see him being available week 1. He didn't even fly with the team to New York. That's pretty concerning.
I think personally it's the same thing with Todd coaching scared. And I know he's very cautious. Yeah, we understand. And I know Ryan Jensen probably had a setback. But I think he's handling it extra cautious. I think we do see Ryan Jensen week 1. I think Todd Bowles just don't want him out there at all. And if we do, I think we're going to see him this week. If he does anything when they practice, we'll figure it out. But if we see him practice this week a little bit, then he's starting week 1. If he doesn't practice at all, I still think he's probably starting week 1. I just think Todd Bowles is being very, very cautious with that injury. And if he doesn't go week 1, get ready to see Hainsey again at center.
Yes,
Bucko real quick, Jeremy, my apologies, but Bucko the Bruce said appreciate y'all boys as he's logging off. Thanks again, Bucko.
All right, brother, man. Take care of those babies.
Yep.
Nice to meet you, man.
Go ahead, J-Lo. Give us your thoughts, buddy. What's your opinion on it?
Nah, I mean, I just hope we don't see Leverett out there at center again because he was horrible at center. He belongs at guard where he belongs. I'm comfortable with Hainsey starting the first couple weeks until oh my goodness, so Jensen's ready, because Jensen is battling this knee injury, which really sucks because this dude is the heart and soul in the line besides Tristan. But
yeah, I want to see him or who is it? Wells? Is that his name? Is it Wells or Walden? One of them. I'm not sure, but I don't want to see them out there.
Wells is gone, but we still have Brandon Walton. Wells is back in Jacksonville, but yes, we do still have big number 73 Walton out there. Huncho.
I see Walton back, as a backup for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens there. But as far as center goes, I mean, I'm comfortable with Hainsey being a center because, like I said, he's played center all last year and he was pretty, I say, solid in my opinion.
What?
Go ahead.
I was just asking, where the hell has Stinny been at? Has he played or is he...
Stinny was in last game. He was rumbling around a little bit. I think he's finally, I should say, near healed, if not 100% healed. But Stinny did play a bit last game, and he looked okay out there, but
He
he
got
didn't
beat a
look
couple
like his old
times.
self a little
Nope.
bit.
No, he didn't. I think he had got a penalty one of those first games or something like that.
He,
I mean,
he got he got beat a couple times against the Jets. I just don't think he's the same player we saw in the playoffs in 2020, which is disappointing.
Remember too, though, it's gonna. I mean, I agree with y'all. He looked bad, and he might not be the same player, but it's gonna take a guy like him to get his legs back a couple of months, probably. Sadly,
right.
Mhm.
Right.
You
I think the biggest concern that we need to have, and that's why I'm wondering why the offensive line is if Tristan Wirth, if he can handle that left tackle position like he would handle the right tackle. Because if he can't, then you need to put him back in his position and find somebody to get in and play that left tackle. But I don't know. It's probably far fetched that happens. But I would
Tr-
want to see him against other competition in live games because as you see, it's a difference from playing in practice and playing in real games. I know they say practice is equal to the game, but a lot of these guys, Tompkins and the fullback, a lot of guys just bending it when the lights come on. Some guys they're dropping balls and they're not being efficient. So I don't want that to happen when Tristan Wirfs gets in the game. I know he's a professional and he's a top tier, one of the best tackles in the game, but he's making a change, and I want to make sure he's doing that and he can transition in that position with the rest of the team as a unit. You know what I'm saying?
I
I
think he'll be
agree.
fine. Not to cut you off, Tom. I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
but no, but Hunch. As far as Tristan goes, that dude's a freak athlete, man. I think
Right.
he'll be fine. Remember, he's going for a big payday too. You know, he's going for that
Right.
big left tackle money. So I think Tristan will be fine the left side. I'm fully confident he'll be great where he's at left tackle. I'm more concerned on the right side as far as looking on Gedeke. He's just off and on with me as far as his play. And as far as Cody Mock, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt for this year because he's a rookie. And then Matt Filer, he's a veteran. I guess they want to put a bigger guy next to Tristan. So that would be interesting, see what he does. If he does play Saturday, which I think he should, then he'd go and
Right.
play all starters on the line.
Right. And that what you saying that is Cody Mock came in as a very
Left
good
tackle.
run. Yeah, right. But he came in as a good running, blocking tackle. You know what I'm saying? Guy.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's opposite. He's being more of a good passer in the running. He is gonna have to work on, and I think that's what we're gonna do because I haven't seen so many glaring like big holes for our running backs to run through, and it's kind of concerning because I want us to have a better run game than last year, and these guys supposed to be road eaters and opening up some holes. There's some pretty big guys up there, so I just want to make sure the run game is pretty good, and then some you have enough time because I know Baker and Kyle they can get out of some situations. Baker's definitely when he ran for the first down, that was big running for that first down, even though it got called back. Those are the type of things that you couldn't see from Brady, but you see what a guy how his preseason and Mayfield's putting this all into it, running for those, running out of bounds. I feel he's just got that aura about him. Like no matter what it is, he has that win now. He's willing to lay his life out there right now, and I think that's how you have to treat the quarterback position when you're in a new with a new team. And I feel like Trash. Yeah, he's there. He's doing everything correct. Yeah, he's trying to. But is his like is he out there trying to win the competition, or is his heart out there like I'm giving it my all. Like I'm gonna run for the first. I don't care if I get hit. Like Baker is out there making some damn. He was out there like how I seen him running that and how smooth and crisp it looked when he did the rollouts. Trash, he's been running. He even juked a guy the other day. You know what I'm saying? Who would have thought? But I don't know. I really wanted to see what this offense looks like in the regular season.
I,
What's
I
nice is real quick, the mobility that comes with a Baker or a Trask. Not that Brady he at one point was a little more mobile, but at that old age it's a little hard to move around. I feel like it's a little fresh whether it's Wolford, Trask, or Mayfield. That mobility's been key this preseason.
Right. At the same time, the thing with Baker that scares me, he needs to learn to slide and not take hits. I can tell you right now, that's my biggest concern. When Baker gets injured, he has not performed well, on my opinion. He needs to learn to slide. And you're right, he got to better run the football and take less pressure off Baker so that way he does not risk getting hurt. Because if he gets hurt, then Trask, I'm confident he can run it. But at the same time, though, I feel like Baker, with the leadership, his experience, I feel more comfortable going in the game with him. And plus, Baker's got a lot on his shoulder because this is his last opportunity. This is his last chance to be notified as a starting quarterback. If he don't do good this year, then he's going to be known as a journeyman backup. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and fellas, let's go over this now. This is a topic of discussion. Then we're going to discuss this upcoming game and what we want to see before we give our one big thing and walk offs and head out of here. I want to discuss which wide receivers that we think are here are going to survive. So I'm going to name 4 shoo-ins, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. Just pretend like these 4 are locks for the roster, and then we're going to pick 2 of the guys I name each that we think have a really good chance of making it as well. So the 4 locks, I'm going to go with our Evans, Godwin, Palmer, and just say more for veterans' sake, just to give a veteran body in there. So out of this pool of wide receivers, which one are you most excited for and thinks has the best chance of making a big impact this year? We're going to pair them up too. We're going to do pairs of 2, 2, and 2. Do you think the tandem of a Devin Tompkins and a Tay Barber, do you think a tandem of a Raheem Jarrett and a Kalen Geiger, or do you think the tandem of a Cade Warner and Ryan Miller take the biggest step forward? So, Huncho, we'll start with you. Do you have Devin Tompkins and Tay Barber combo, Kalen Geiger and Raheem Jarrett combo, or Cade Warner and Ryan Miller combo?
I'm gonna have to take the Geiger. Eric.
As Huncho fades off, we hope we could get him back. Jeremy, what combo would you take of those? Ryan Miller, Cade Warner, Tay Barber, Devin Tompkins, or Geiger Jarrett?
I say, as much as I like Jarrett, but sometimes I do like Devin Tompkins on special teams, returning the kicks and the punts. So I'll have to go with Devin Tompkins and Tate Barber, just because, like I said, I love Jarrett. I think he's an excellent addition. But at the same time, though, you gotta go kick and punt return. I think Tompkins is the better guy, in my opinion. No knock on Palmer, but now that Palmer's going to possibly be the number 3, you don't want to risk him getting injured, and go ahead and go with Tompkins. That's a safer bet. So I'd say Tompkins and Tay Barber for sure.
Huncho, you were saying Geiger and Jarrett, I believe.
Right. I like Geiger and Jelly. If we're strictly talking about wide receivers, the wide receivers, not special teams, even though I know it's important, because I feel like Garrett, Hakeem, Jarrett, Jarrett,
Yep, Raheem Jarrett.
Jarrett and Geiger have the most potential at wide receiver if we're doing a tandem, because as you've seen, Jarrett can make big plays when the lights on. There's no stopping him. And also, if you have Kalen Geiger, he's been getting the ball thrown at him. He has had a few drops, but if he can just get that under control, as far as the wide receiver position, just catching the ball, I feel like those 2 guys just at that tandem would exceed all expectations. And especially when you get the real play calling going on. But my personal favorite would be Palmer and the Jarrett together. If those 2 guys were together, yeah, I feel like the lineup will be Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Trey Palmer, and I want to say it's Thompson might get the nod because the kick return, punt return, but either him or Raheem Jarrett, because Jarrett is like a gamer, and Tompkins he hasn't did it while the lights on. He's dropped last year. He did good, but this year he has some drops, but he looks amazing on kick return. So I think he's going to take the 4th. He'll be the 4th wide receiver, if not 3rd wide receiver, and either it'll be Palmer, then Jarrett, or it'll be Palmer, then Tompkins, then Jarrett. But I think Jarrett is the last of all those guys at the moment right now. We'll see how the next preseason game goes, and it's like all or nothing. This next preseason game, it's like, man, you get out there and you perform. Like, it's no mistakes. The starters are going to be in, so the other guys are only going to have a limited time to play. So It's gonna be when you get in. There's no more making mistakes, missing blocks, and falling down and dropping passes. That's out the door. It's all or nothing if you want to make this team right now.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It is all or nothing if you want to make this team, and it's guys like Ryan Miller and Cade Warner trying to make it as well. Cade Warner, Kurt Warner's son, obviously. I would choose. Oh man, that's tough with Jarrett and Geiger over. It's a tough choice. I guess I'll make the argument more so in that situation. I just think Geiger Jarrett probably gives you a little more depth, although I do like Tay Barber and what he brings, but I think Geiger's a little bit better than Tay Barber. And then at receiver, Jarrett might bring more to the receiving table than Tompkins, although Tompkins might be a little bit more of a playmaker. So give me the Jarrett Geiger combo as well, although all three of them could really pay dividends. I'm really excited that we did get David Moore this year too, although not the best of receivers the past couple of years, but just a good veteran presence, a good veteran depth and familiarity with Dave Canales' offense. So good things there, in my opinion. Is we have more special guests, Brian, Nancy joining us. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. So we're gonna have one more segment before we give our big things and walk-offs, fellas. Bucs do have a third preseason game coming up. That's coming this weekend against Baltimore. What do we plan on seeing from that, or what do you guys hope and seeing Saturday night, August 26th, 7 o'clock Eastern? Ravens visit Tampa. Jeremy, we'll start with you. What's your hopes and expectations from the last preseason game of 2023?
I would like to see the starters on offense get in there for a couple series, and obviously I got a feeling it's gonna be Baker's gonna start the game. Let him get acclimated with the real starters. Let's see what Tristan does at left tackle against a tough Ravens defense who are gonna play some of their starters, I can imagine. And then on the defense side of the ball, I want to see some of that front seven. Of course, Kancey obviously won't play, so let's see what Logan Hall does with Vita Vea next to him. I think Vita Vea will be the biggest X factor. That's one thing somebody told me. Cause I was knocking on Logan Hall last game, saying he looked soft. But then again, he's not playing against Vita Vea, so I can't really knock him on that.
Facts.
So
That's the same thing I've been waiting on, Jeremy.
yeah, so at the end of the day, I just want to see the starters in for a couple series on both sides of the football, and let's see what Canales' offense really going to look like come against Minnesota with Mike and Chris in there, Tristan at left, Filer at left guard, no more of this backup lineman, fundamental confusion crap. Let's get it going.
Huncho, what say you? What's one thing you're looking forward to in preseason week 3, Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern in Tampa against the Ravens?
To be honest, what I want to see is a clean game. I don't want to see any penalties or as much as we've had previously. Because after every big play, it's either a holding or pass interference. It's been so many flags just thrown left and right to the point where your offense can't even get in a groove because they're constantly moving backwards instead of forward. And that's what I want to see. I want to see a clean game, if anything. I want to see them improve on not making any penalties, especially before the ball is snapped. I don't want to see any of those penalties because you're heading into the season, and those drive killers and those should be cleaned up. Those penalties should not be acceptable in this offense or defense, and that's what I'm looking forward to because I don't want to see any because that'll kill your drive, that'll kill your plays, all that.
And Kathy said we won't see a real game plan against Ravens, but hope to see the starters. I do think we'll see the starters, Kathy. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Thanks for joining us, Kathy. We do appreciate the comment and the viewership. Yeah, we alluded on it earlier. We think it might be a little bit like last year. If you remember week 3 preseason against the Colts, you did see Tom Brady in a couple of those Cats plays. So I think week 3 this year, you do see the starters play, which will include Rashad White and the rest of the fellas. So thanks again, Kathy. Guys, it's already that time. We've been at it over an hour and 5 minutes. We're going to do our one big things, and then we'll head into our one walk off as we head out of here. We'll start with you, Huncho. What's one big thing you're looking for this week in Bucksland?
Big thing, I would say the offense, play calling, but of course it's vanilla. So I'm gonna go with, of course, the quarterback play. The big thing that I want to see how Baker Mayfield moves with these starters. That is the biggest thing I want to see. I want to see good blocking, running. I want to see how he handles this uh new offense, and being the starter, because we know what it is. So if he's gonna be the starter, I want to see how he can handle it, and no mistakes.
J-Lo, what say you? What's your one big thing in Buckland, whether it's practice or game you look forward to this week?
I'm looking forward. I agree with Honcho. Looking forward to seeing how the QB play goes with the starters, seeing the play action. Of course, they won't show the whole game plan, Kathy, but just to see some taste of what Canales' offense could look like, that probably be a perspective. But however, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to seeing Levante David, Devin White out there. Looking forward to see
Especially,
Devin White, see if you have any improvements on his
is,
fundamentals and
is Lamar
helping.
playing? I don't mean to cut you off, Jimmy, but is Lamar playing?
Right now, we don't know. It could be a possibility. I mean, he hasn't
Yeah,
played yet, but I
yeah,
hope he
those
does.
guys. Yeah, those guys gonna. Yeah, keep going. Those guys definitely gonna have to step up. I was just wondering. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. You're good. You're good. No, I'm just saying. I'm looking forward to seeing them back out there. I miss Levante David. I love his play out there, his leadership, and I love his fiery attitude lately. I mean, did you see what he did with the Jets lineman, getting in his face, about ready to throw hands? I mean, I've seen a different kind of leadership out of Levante David, which I like. And plus, I'm glad he's playing the big brother mode with Devin White, because White, has been, sorry, a prima donna on wanting to get paid and want to be traded. I'm glad that he's focusing on football. It's one that I give props to Todd Bowles. I appreciate that strong conversation with him too, because he loves him like a son, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then, but at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to seeing some of the starters in there. Let's see what Mike and Chris look like. Chris is now 100% supposedly, so let's see what he can really do in this offensive scheme.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with both you fellas. As Dave Castle's joining us on Facebook as well. Thanks so much, my man. Awesome to have you. One big thing I look forward to this week in Buckland is really how the players come out and speak with their body language. It seemed like an Evans was getting frustrated a little bit, not knowing the quarterback necessarily. And I'm wondering if it'll be a common theme, or if players will rally behind the decision to keep the quarterback behind closed doors as we squeak towards the regular season. I think some people want to know the quarterback, although some people did point out Seahawks waited last year. It's already time for our walk off, fellas, as we walk off of this Buccaneers episode. Until next time, Huncho, any thoughts, any words? What's your one walk off?
Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett is the walk off. See, I expect him to go off this game. He's been going crazy at practice. He's back. We're gonna see if he's healthy, and I think he's gonna explode on some linemen. And he has a chip on his shoulder, and not in a negative way, being that we all know his situation that he went through. And I think that gives him added extra motivation on top of the injury to go out and perform at a very elite level. So I say everyone keep your eyes on Shaq Barrett.
I love Shaq, and he's gone through so much. As we are approaching Monday Night Football right now, for anyone watching, at the conclusion of this, you guys should hop on over to Ravens Commanders, but keep watching this for a couple more minutes till we're off. J-Lo, thanks for joining us, buddy. Great time as always. What's your one walk-off for the Buccaneers podcast this week, sir?
Nah, great call, Honcho. I was gonna say Shaq Bear, but you beat me to it, so I got one better. Joe Trans. That's another player I want to look out for. 'Cause I think he's going to be out there to prove that he can be after the quarterback can finish on his sats and his tackles as far as
Right.
that goes. I think JTS is underrated talent. I think he's going to have a much better season. And and like I said, and like Boko said, we got much faster on defense by adding these pass rushers. So that way the heat's not totally on Shaq Barrett or JTS, because we'll have other players that are going there maybe might do better. We got Nelson as as a plan B, and Shaq Barrett can't play to his full potential, which I think he's shown he can. Listen to the joint practices. So I say JTS. I expect big things out of him this year. I think he's out and he's hungry. He wants to prove that he was a great first round pick. He was worthy of the pick when he was picked.
Right.
And plus, let's fucking get ready for the season. I can't wait for you to come down, Tone. I can't wait to hang out with the fellas. It's going to be a lot of fun. Like
One
you
more.
said,
We're going to have a great time when we go down there, fellas. Huncho, me, and you are going to definitely hang out. Stunner will hang with us as well. We're going to have a great time.
Tones.
One minute hunch. One big
Tones.
thing I look forward to quick. Rashad
No.
White. I think
Yeah.
Rashad White has a great season this year. Huncho, go ahead, brother. What's up?
No. I don't mean I've been doing this. I'm sorry, but I just wanted to say this. I don't think we're gonna find our stride until mid-season when everybody's down packed. Know the NFL, the rookies are in pack. They know this thing, the scheme, how the NFL works. Everything Dave Canel now is set in on his offensive job. Baker set in his job if he's still the starter. I think that's when we'll start really, really trending upwards in the middle or early middle of the season. That's it.
Yeah, I could agree with you. And I think Rashad White has a big part to do with our offense this year. This guy was a mid-round pick last year. I think he's going to look electric this year. I have his creamsicle coming in. Very excited about that. Actually should finally be shipping. I got that thing months ago. So very excited about what Rashad White is going to bring to this offense.
I love that, Tones.
I had to get my boys creamsicle, the number one. I mean, I predicted his change to number one on Twitter. Still waiting for him to hit me back on that. But that's my dude right there nonetheless. And yeah, let's just say there might be more creamsicle merch to be spread around the household as well. Fellas, any last words as we hop out here? Any last words?
yeah, for Nastians to quit messing around, get your damn jersey, Tone. Damn.
I know, bro. They keep screwing me. I was messaging him earlier, like, what the hell's going on here? I order a lot. I order too much from you guys. What's going on?
I'm telling you, man. I wanted to speak for you. I got my Mike Evans creamsicle. That's my guy. I can't wait to rock that during the creamsicle game.
Yeah, you'll have your Evans creamsicle. I'll have my white creamsicle. Hunch, are you planning on getting a creamsicle, sir? Hunch, we might have lost Hunch. We'll see. We'll find out later if he's getting a creamsicle. That'll be a good mystery. Until next time, Jeremy, it was great having you, brother. Again, where can the people follow you at on Twitter, quick?
They can follow me at JLo. You can follow me at JLo1990 all day at X or Twitter, whatever it's called. If y'all guys want to talk about football, I'm all for it, and thank you for having me, Tone. Like I said, I learned a lot from you. I always appreciate all your knowledge you provide to me on your podcast, man.
Yeah, we always love having you. You're a great friend, buddy, and we appreciate it and look forward to linking up with you in September, maybe October as well, maybe November. The times don't stop on the Buccaneers pod. You can catch J-Lo and me and Huncho and Bucko on this replay on Apple and Spotify at Buccaneers Podcast, YouTube Buccaneers Podcast, Twitter at Buccaneers, Instagram Buccaneers Pod, Facebook Bucs Life News, and you can catch me on Twitter at Tampa Tones today. It won't hurt. It might cost you a follow, but it won't hurt. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that notifications on bell, and hit that subscribe. We do appreciate it so much. On behalf of the guys, J-Lo, Huncho, Bucko, Tampa Tones, it's been awesome. Fire the damn cannons. Go Bucs.
Let's go.
Let's go, guys. Let's get it. Let's have a hell of a preseason finale Saturday. Let's do it. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. I played with Brock and anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.